The 21st of April, Rabbi First Gemora.
Okay. And so therefore, basically, we've just demonstrated why it is that we need the Mishnah to come along and tell us the Kal V'chomer, which would explain us why it is that we would, yes, give him a shvua also, even though he made no admission to defend that. Okay. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about the Kal V'chomer and the admission, Kal V'chomer in our Mishnah, and the admission of the classic case of Moed Mixes. Okay, so without further ado, who's got the place in the Gemara wants to start reading? Alan, you got the place?
Alan, you're muted.
Alan, you want to read?
Okay, there it is. Okay. So right hand side, 3B1.
3B1, the right hand side.
Left
Okay,
side.
the Gemara challenges a premise on which the
Left, the left side, 3B1 on the left.
On the left,
Bottom.
okay.
It now presents.
The Gemara now presents Rabbi Chia's Kal V'chomer, my Kal V'chomer, and what is the Kal V'chomer meant by Rabbi Chia? Uma Piv L'She'ein Makaya Bo Mormon Makaya Bo Shevu Or. If the admission of his own mouth, which cannot obligate him to pay money, nevertheless obligates him to take an oath, for example, where he admits part of a claim, a din shemakai bin also more mormon. I know a din shemakai bin also. Excuse me. Then witnesses who can obligate him to pay money, it is not certain that they obligate him to take an oath. For example, where they substantiate part of the claim that he denies. The Gemara challenges the premise on which the Kal V'chomer is based. Ufiv ein Machayim Bo Mormon. But does the admission of his own mouth not obligate him to pay money? Baal din kamei or Domi. Why we have a rule that the admission of a litigant is like the testimony of 100 witnesses. What do you mean then when you say that one's admission cannot obligate him to pay money?
No.
More answers. My Mormon kavos. What is money is meant here? Penalty money. According to the Bava argument runs, Uma piv she'ein machayavo kanos machayavo shebua. If the admission of his own mouth, which cannot obligate him to pay a penalty, nevertheless obligates him to take an oath. For example, we admit part of a claim. Adin shemachaya vin oso kanas no din shemachaya vin oso shebu or. Then two witnesses who can obligate him to pay a penalty Is it not certain that they obligate him to take an oath? For example, when they substantiate part of the claim that he denies. The Gemora challenges the Malchoma. Ma Levin Shekain Mechayavo Corbin. What can you prove from the admission of his own mouth, which has the strength that it obligates him to bring a chatos offering? Tomar ba'edin she'ein mechayavin also born. Can you say the same witnesses who do not obligate him to bring a chatos offering when they are contradicted by his own account of the incident? Since a personal admission is stronger than testimony in this respect, how can we make a kama predicted on testimony having the greater strength? The Gemara answers, although Kashua, this is not difficult. Rabbi Chia Karabi Meir Sabirua Lay, we can say that Rabbi Chia, who propounds the Kal Makoma, holds the view of Rabbi Meir. The Omar Edim Mechaya Bin also Korban Mikal Bekomar. Who says that witnesses indeed obligated a person to bring a chatos offering by force of a Bekomar distance on? We learn in a Mishnah, Yibru lo Shanayim if two witnesses say to a person, you ate Caleb inadvertently, and you are thus allowed me to bring a chatos, who omer lo ocheliti, and he said, I did not eat it. Rabbi Meir, Machayeh B'chayah me, Portarim. Rabbi Meir obligates him to bring a chatos, but the sages exempt him from the obligation. Omar Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Meir said to the sages, Im be who Shanayim we day Mamor Noah lo you be is a Comer. If witnesses can impose upon him the severe punishment of death, should they not only be able to impose upon him the relatively lenient requirement of a chatos offering? Omar lo ma'im yitzeh romer mezid yopar. The sages replied to him, what if he would wish to say I transgressed deliberately, he would be exempt from a chatos, even according to you. Therefore, he is believed over the witnesses, even if he altogether denies having transgressed. Thus, the Mishnah records Rabbi Meir's view that witnesses can indeed impose a chatos obligation of a person. Rabbi Chia subscribes to Rabbi Meir's position in this manner, then chatos is not an instance in which one's personal mission is superior to witnesses, and Rabbi Chia's kal v'chomer is restored.
Okay, let's see what. So let's take a look at Rashi over here. Let's try to figure out what Rashi is we need to read over here. Ooh. Okay. We did the top Mishnah. We did the top Rashi. Hai Kule boy the Lodi Kule. That was right before we started today. So the first Rashi should be Piv She'enu L'chayvo Momon.
The mouth that doesn't make him chayiv to pay money. The whole dato with his admission, u'lekemeya mefareshla, and later on we're going to explain it.
Okay. Yeah, because okay. Yeah, because the Gemora says, what do you mean the Piv is not able to be Machayev Mammon? We have a statement that says, Hodas Piv, Hodas Baldin, Kameya Edin Dami. The admission of a Baldin, a person, plaintiff or defendant in a case, is Kameya Edin Dami. It has the strength of 100 witnesses testifying to that effect. And certainly 100 witnesses can machayev a person moment. So therefore, surely his own admission that he admits with his own mouth also is sufficient to be machayev him moment. So what's the Gemara mean when it says ma piv she'ein machayevo moment? Rashi, Diramasko Piv She'enu Machaybo Mammon. Oh, that's what we just read.
Right.
Oh, so the Gemara answered, true. Mammon, it could be Machayev. But what we're talking about here when we say Mammon, we're not really talking about Mammon, we're talking about Knas.
Right. The next, okay.
Oh, so this is the Kal V'chomer that the Gemara is saying over here. Let's just say over the Kal V'chomer again, so that we have it clear.
I'm not sure that we're we'll see from the right spot. Yeah, okay. Then yeah, we got that. Okay, what do you call the Kal V'chomer?
So the Gemara answered my moment Knas, and now the Gemara is going to say what the Kal V'chomer is that we have over here, that we're going to prove the din of Rav Huna. The Gemara said, "Ma piv she'ein mechaybo knas." So the first leg of the Kal V'chomer is that we have the piv. It doesn't have the strength to obligate a person to pay a penalty, but nevertheless, mechaybo shvua, his mouth can obligate him to make a shvua, as is in the case that we've been talking about, that when he makes a moda mixis, he's moda on half of the claim of the plaintiff, so he's got to make a shvua on the other half. So then the third leg of the Kal V'chomer is we're comparing the case of Edim. Edim shemachayven also knas. Witnesses, if you have two witnesses, they do have the koach, unlike the mouth. They have the koach to, yes, be machayev a person to pay a knas. Like if two witnesses testify that somebody was a ganav, so that means he's going to have to pay kefil, and kefil is a knas. And so even though a person himself, if he admits that he was a ganav, he doesn't pay kefil. Moda b'knas potter. He'll pay the keren, but he won't pay the kefil because somebody who's moda on a knas, the rule is that he's potter on the payment of the knas. So if the witnesses have the ability to be machayev a knas, certainly they have more koach than a person's own admission. And so therefore, if a person's own admission will make him chayev in a shvua, so too, all the more so, two witnesses should be machayev the person to make a shvua. So now, therefore, in that case, that is going to prove the din of Rav Chia. That's the case of Rav Chia. That Rav Chia says that when the two witnesses come and say he owes half of the claim of the plaintiff, then the defendant will be required to make a shvua on the other half. Even though he was a kofar b'kol, he didn't make any admission at all himself. Okay, so now I think we have Rashi's over here. So so we did Piv Shem Machaybo Moment. Now we have Machaybo Shvua.
So it's chayiv shvua. And then it says al hashar, the remainder of the amount.
Right, he's going to be chayiv to pay, or rather, he's going to be chayiv to make a shvua that he does not owe the other half that the witnesses did not testify to. So therefore, the witnesses were able to be machayiv him to make a shvua al hashar on the remaining half. Okay. And then the next Rashi is Eidim Shechayvin Oso Mammon. That now we have a curveball. Where is this? This is further on. What is Eidim Shechayvin Mammon? Tomer Be'edim. Oh, I think Rashi has a different girsa than the girsa that our Gemora has. Our Gemora's girsa is Eidim Shemachayvin Oso Knas. Eino Din Shemachayvin Oso Shvua. Rashi has Rashi's just calling it he's calling it moment, but he's referring to the knas. Okay, so that Rashi, Lou's not there. Looks like Lou had to go. Okay, so Phil, you want to continue?
Yeah, well, let's see, which one, I'm lost, where we up to now?
Yeah, so the thing, we're up to Eidim Shemachayvin Oso Mammon.
Eidim, so what? Let me get this again. Eidim, okay, and I just know where I was up to. Okay.
Yeah, see?
Okay, because I see where I was. So let me figure out. Okay, Eidim Shemachayim Oto, the Mammon, the witnesses that require him to pay Mammon, the Ma Sheidu, on what he testified about.
Ma Sheidu.
On what it was his testimony.
I think it's referring to the testimony of the witness. I'm not really sure what Rashi wants to say over here. Ma Sheidu. I don't really know. It seems to me that he's obviously talking about in that what they testified. Who's testifying over here? The only one that's testifying over here is the Eidim. But that's what the Gemora says. Eidim. Oh, it's very. Rashi's just saying that on that which they testify. They are machayev him in mammon. But it seems to me that's rather obvious. That's what testimony does. It's machayev mammon in regard to that which their testimony testified about. I don't know what Rashi doesn't say things that are superfluous, but I'm at a loss to understand what why Rashi needed to say this over here. So let's just go on from there. I have nothing to say about that Rashi. Then we got the Kal Chomer. Eino din, is it not a Kal Chomer? Shechayvuhu Shavua, that these witnesses will have the koach to obligate the defendant in a shvua. Lou, you want to read? You got the red mic. Please unmute, Lou. Lou, you want to read for us? You're muted. Oh, sure. Maybe Phil, you want to read?
Which one? The continuing on the Rashi's?
The Rashi, the next one, which is
Eino din.
Eino din.
Well, that's only one word, two words. Eino din she'itchayvu b'shvua. Isn't it the din that he should be chayav b'shvua al hashar on the remaining amount? And now it says hoda bal din kamea edim. The one who admits in court is counted like 100 witnesses. That's a braisahi. But in the Sefta, the Bava Metzia, the perich we showed in the first perich about the thing.
Okay, that Rashi seems to be out of order. That was the beginning of our discussion over here that the Gemora said about that. Okay. But yeah, so right. So the admission of a Baal Din has the strength of 100 witnesses in regard to the matter of making him liable to pay mammon. So Rashi's telling us where the source of that din is. Okay. Well, so now Rashi goes back over this Kal Chomer. Okay. Hivsh Eino Mechaybo Knas.
Okay. Okay. The piv, the amount that doesn't, his admission doesn't chayiv no knas though. The leafim, the elif thinin, we learn it in Baba Kama Ayin Hey. Mikrai Mode Knas in a pasuk of someone whose motive of a knas is pater, would be pater asher yarishun aleihem, because he found guilty on it. prat to exclude Lemarshia et Tesmo, someone who makes himself guilty.
Yeah, this is the pasuk where we learn that the principal mode of knas patur, somebody will be exempt from a knas that if there's no testimony, there's just his admission that he's chayav, and that's learned from the pasuk Asher Yashiyun Elohim. Elohim over here is referring to the judges, and they're the ones that find him guilty. And the Gemora darshans, the judges find him guilty. Who else is going to find him guilty? Obviously, the judges find him guilty. But the drasha is no. It's telling us that only the judges can find him guilty of a knas, prat to the exclusion of Marshia es atzmo. He himself, with his own mouth, cannot find himself guilty, so to speak, make himself guilty as a result of an admission. So that's what Rashi means over here, Mikroi, Yalfin and Mikroi, that we derive this. And then Rashi tells us what that pasuk is. Where can that pasuk be found? Don't know where that pasuk is found. Okay. But that's the Gemora over there in Bava Kama. We must have learned it. Okay, so next Rashi. Piv Machayev Korban. A mouth could be Machayev a person, an admission, in other words, the person's own admission could obligate him in a korban.
Let's list where the pasuk is, because it's written to Chiv, the admission, asher chata, that he sinned, the havi, and he brings. So that's Vayikra. Perikei.
Right. Okay. V'hisvada asher chata, and he admits to having done a chait. So if it was a chait that was a lav sheyesh bo chorus, and he did so shogeg. He was a shogeg in a chiyav chorus case, so he'll have to be bringing a korban. So even if we got no witnesses, but he himself could, with his own mouth, he could be machayev himself in a korban, based upon this pasuk. He's vada asher chata. He makes an admission that he was chotet. Okay. So the mouth, the personal admission, has the ability to be machayev korban. But witnesses could not be machayev him in a korban. Eidim ain't also korban. We have time for this? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Lou's not at his desk.
So Adim, whatchamacallit? What about Adim now? Adim can make him a whatchamacallit.
Adim ain't machayev also korban. They cannot obligate him in a korban.
Adim cannot chayev. Adim ein mechayev oto min korban. Im, and now here's his mechachishim oto. If he denies it, the pasuk writes, Shom and Dalet, which is in Vayikra, the chapter before. O Avada, if he admits on a love, below Shiador that he didn't know, the other ones don't know about it.
Imachish also תקצב הודה אליו ולא שיודיעוהו אחרים. He acknowledges it, but not that other people make it known to him. In other words, the pasuk says, "Oh, hoda Allah." So if he acknowledges that he did it, so then that will be machayev him a korban. Below show diyuhu achirim, but not that other people, witnesses, in other words, come and testify that he did something that is chayev a korban. They cannot do so if in the event that he is machish, that he denies it. That's in regard to a korban. It's a different din than it is when it comes to mamonos. Mamonos, witnesses can say, he could say, I don't owe, and the witness come and say you do owe. So the witnesses in that case, they could be machayev him in mammon. But in the case of a korban, if he says I'm not chayev in a korban, for example, because I was amazing, so the witnesses can't be chayev him in a korban. It can only be brought if a person did the sin that's chayev chorus for mazid, if he did it as a shogeg. Didn't know it was usher, didn't know what he was doing constituted that avera. Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll leave it for here. Okay, very good, everybody. Wow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Erev Pesach.